London, 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 do. Hi, James from EngVid. Secret London. I was actually born here. Beautiful place, love it. Now, I want to teach you a lesson today on phrasal verbs. We're going to work on 5 phrasal verbs, but this is specific. These are business phrasal verbs. So if you're in business or you're learning about business, these terms will come up regularly. Now, phrasal verbs and idioms in English are used, and you're expected to know them like that. So let's go to the board and let's see what Mr. E. Mr. E wants to teach us some today about off. Well, the first thing we have to learn, specifically, off has about 5 meanings, but today we're going to concentrate on 2. And all of these ones here are basically going to, relate to those 2 meanings. Off either means to move away from something or to go down, right? To make smaller or reduce in size. And these phrasal verbs are used in business quite often. If you know anything about what's happened in the last 5 years, you're going to go, oh my gosh, that's what they were talking about. So let's talk about the first one, take off. If you're like me and you work a lot. Okay, I don't work a lot. I'm being honest. But sometimes you need a vacation, and I take vacations, so you need to take off. But in English, what we say in our business, when you go to your boss and you say, boss, I would like some time off, they will say, would you like to take some time off? Or you might say, I want to take some time off in the summer. I want to take off a month. So you'll hear this phrase, take off, and it means for vacation. But there's also another meaning, which is really, really good. And this is, remember, we're talking about away from when we're talking about off, because take off. You can see the airplane. The airplane takes off. That's for your vacation, because I know you're going somewhere sunny like Canada in January. Anyway, don't come here in January. It's not sunny. It's cold. But another thing, see how the airplane is taking off? It means it's leaving. Airplanes go up. When somebody has a business and things are going really well, they say, my business is taking off. It means it's doing well. So your boss might say, or he or she might say, I really want this idea to take off because it will be good for the company. It means they want the idea to be successful. If something takes off, it's successful. We started a new water brand and it's taken off in Italy. They love it. Canadian water. Who knew? Okay, and it took off. It means it's successful. It's doing really well. Now let's look at another one. This is close to my heart because recently I found out there's a company across the sea, let's say, imagine a country called India, where they actually took everything about me except my face and my name and wrote my bio out. It's called a ripoff, but we'll get to that. If you have a store and you have products, books, or markers, okay? And you see someone come in and then they take it and they run out of your store and they don't pay you. You would say, I wasn't paid. You can say, that person ripped me off. That means that person stole from me. And we use that for when someone takes physical objects and takes them without paying from a store. So you can say the store was ripped off because product was taken and no money was given for it. Okay? That's one form of to rip off. Another is if you were the customer or client. If you go to my store and I sell this water for $5, and then you walk to Mr. E's store and see the exact same water, but more water inside going for $1, you'll say, I was ripped off. It's similar to being stolen from, because what it means is I paid more than the value of the object. The object is only worth $1, but these people made me pay $5. I feel ripped off. Something was taken from me and it wasn't fair. I didn't get the value. Rip-off. Water is a rip-off. It's free, people. Check the clouds. It comes down regularly. Anyway, next. The next thing for rip-off is to steal an idea. Told you this was a business phrasal verbs. Lots of times, McDonald's says something like, Burger King's got a new burger. Let's rip it off. And they make the same product and they call it the Mc something. Burger King did it first. McDonald's steals it. I'll give you a great example. Samsung and Apple. Okay, people, don't sue me. It's in the papers. It's real. Apple had a product where you could touch the screen and move everything. Brilliant. Millions of people bought it. Samsung looked at it and went, that's a damn good product. We like it. So they took the idea. They didn't ask Apple. They didn't pay Apple. They stole the idea. Now remember, the first stealing is to take physical objects. In this case, they stole the idea and they made the Samsung. People love the Samsung. In fact, they ripped it off, but they made it better. But Apple sued them, that means took them to court, and said, you must pay us. And Samsung had to pay because they stole the idea. So if someone rips off your idea, they steal the idea from you. It's yours. And you notice I have a book, and they tear a page out of the book. They take that page and steal it. It belongs in the book, not to them. Okay? So that was off, and that's how we talk about away from, to take something away from something else. Now let's talk about phrasal verbs off and going down. Here, if I'm off screen for a second, I'll come back, I promise you. Here's Mr. E. He's going to look down and he'll see, look, sell off. If you have too many, doing, 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 doing. I have too many. I don't want this many. I need to sell them off. If I ask you to buy for $5, you say no, and I keep them. So then I say, if I reduce the price, make the price go down, I can sell them. At $5, nobody buys. But now I say $1, wing, 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 wing. I sell them all. It's a sell-off. It means to reduce the price by a large amount in order to get people to buy them so you can get rid of them, right? You don't want them anymore. You want to sell them. Reduce the price and you say it's a sell-off, meaning we want to get rid of it and it's a price lower, better for you, the consumer, or the client, all right, or customer. So to reduce the price, to reduce the number that you have, so everything goes down. What's another one? Well, another one we want to talk about is layoff. My man here is saying, I want to work. Well, there's a problem. I want to work. Why is he saying that? Well, a layoff is when a company, for some reason, must reduce its workers because they don't have money or materials to work with. Maybe they make cars and there's not enough tires, wheels for the cars. So they can't make any. They have to tell some people, go home. There's no work for you. And because there's no work, we can't pay you. So you can't work here. So the worker is asked not to work, not because they did anything wrong. That's being called fired. They're not fired. You know, they've done everything okay. The company has no money or materials to work with. So they're laid off. The difference between being fired and laid off is this. If you are laid off, the company is saying, if things get better, we will call you back to work. When you're fired, that's it, sucker. You're out. Okay? You're not working anymore. But in this case, they're saying, we're going to call you back. We just don't have the money or the materials. My man wants to work. He's like, I did nothing wrong. I want to work. Why am I lying down? Sorry, no work. Okay? Next one we're going to do is write-off. See the big zero? I did a video before where we talked about a write-off when you reduce it down to zero. So you can look at that. Check it out, video with off and what off means. But in this case, it's different. I didn't talk about this because this is a business term that I didn't think the general student would want to see. When you have a write-off in business, it means you have an expense that the government considers not taxable. What was that? You should say that again. Well, in most countries that have capitalism or do, exchange money for goods, you get taxed. And what the government says is when you have a write-off, it says that if you're running a business, to have a business, you need certain things. You need markers. You need computers. You don't make money from them because you have to buy them. But if you don't have them, you don't have a business. So your government says, hey, look, if you buy these things, we will reduce the tax that you pay us. What you say? Government giving money back? Like Yoda, money back? Government? No. Yes. So when you get a write-off, you can say, for sometimes it's eating dinner, buying your suits, buying pens or computers or paper. The government says you need these to work with, so you get a write-off. We will reduce the tax you have to pay. And you thought you weren't going to get anything from here, right? You did. It's not a rip-off. I'm working hard for you. Okay? So these are the 5. So I'm going to give you a little story. I want you to think about the story. Because in English, if your English is good, you can take multiple things and put them together and make it make sense. Then you can watch the video again and do the quiz at EngVid. All right? Quickly. So let's go. I took off from work one day because, I went on my vacation. And when the company was doing really well. We had taken off in sales. So I took off and took my vacation. But then I found out one of the employees, Mr. E, was ripping us off and selling our secrets to the Indian people. Because of that, there were many, many layoffs in the company, and a lot of people, good people, couldn't work. This is terrible. But lucky me, I came back, and because I was doing well, I got to write off my trip and my vacation. So go do the quiz, see how you do, and if you don't do well, come and watch the video again. And by the way, Indian people, not upset with you, just have to use a country. Next time I'll use the United States. That rips off everybody. Anyway, E, I'm out. I'm taking off. See you.